method, or how did the panel conduct its investigation, and what methods were used to gather, evidence?
Okay, thank you very much. As the chairperson did explain, there are phases to this assignment. So the very first part was dealing with the two cases she highlighted. And what happened was, in terms of the methodology, there was a need to look at on the spot, to move into that unannounced,
Okay.
to move into those facilities and follow the trail. So, for example, on the 12th of April, he was brought into Ikoyi, but interviewed, but he did not sleep in Ikoyi. And that same 12th of April, he was moved to the medium custodial center, as you have highlighted. We saw the cell where he kept him, which was an individual cell. We looked at the nature of all the other private cells that were in that special building, and tried to look at the facilities that that particular cell had. On the 22nd of that same April, he was moved from that medium security facility to the maximum. And part of what we're also looking at is documentary evidence. So, for example, he had applied for self-feeding, had indicated people who would be bringing the food on a daily basis. And we looked at the visitors register. And within the visitors register, within 10 days, we had 39 visits.
Oh, you mean an inmate can apply for?
Yes, they can apply.
Self-feeding.
You can apply and designate who would be the one you have apportioned. Okay. So it was obvious that within those 10 days that he was in the Krikri medium, there were visits because we looked at the records. Okay. And those records showed, the number of visits. And it was such a record that you would be sure that it's not like, you saw the trajectory of all of that. It was almost like what you can call a tamper-proof evidence of that. But there were also other records. So part of what was observed, because the major mandate was to say, did he sleep here or didn't he sleep here? And all of the evidence we saw, including from interviewing of inmates, from staff, interview of staff, and also looking at the records, as I had said, showed that he stayed there. But in our first report, we also catalogued all of the privileges and all of the other issues that we felt needed further investigation. Okay. So, for example, what were the procedure for providing whatever privileges were given to him, and then because the idea is that it's not only about these individual cases, how can we use the information we have seen from immediate cases and then ensure that we put in place methods to ensure, that future problems will not happen. We also looked at the nature of the cell in maximum.
Okay.
And, what were the layout of that cell, and what would have given people the different impressions and all of that. So all of that are things that the final report will delve into. But the very first report said, look, this person, from all we have gotten so far, stayed inside this facility. And so it's about looking at document, it's about observation, it's about using interviews and all of that, and translating all of these things to come to a particular process. And all of the things we observe that were of concern, the major thing we want to now do further is to look at what had led to what, and what are the lessons that needs to be learned, and what are the processes that need to be put in place to ensure that the standards are kept.
Dr.